In this video, we will go over our scheduled sessions functionalities that can be adjusted to define when and for how long we would like our ISL Online users to establish remote desktop sessions. So when logged into ISLOnline.com as a main user or a domain admin, we are able to access the administration section of our account. Here, under Settings, is where we can configure the permissions of our users. Let's start with Scheduled Remote Support Sessions by clicking on ISL Lite and scrolling down to Session Management. The first setting is Scheduled Sessions, where we can define the time and days of the week where we would like a user to be able to start new sessions. Here, we add the days and the times of our support schedule, 1 representing Sunday, as in the first day of the week, and 7 being Saturday, the last day of the week. From there, we add an equals sign and define the time frame for each day. We can also provide a range of days, in this case, Thursday to Saturday, in between 11 and 12 a.m. Keep in mind, this is in UTC time standard and should be adjusted accordingly. Once we have defined our settings and have clicked Save underneath, the session schedule will be in effect. From now on, if we are trying to establish a remote support session outside of the scheduled hours, we will receive an error message telling us what the scheduled hours are and when we can try again. Underneath Scheduled Sessions, we can define whether an ongoing session is ended after the scheduled time is up. If we choose to enable this, then any ongoing sessions will be stopped after the scheduled hours. So let's just reset our Scheduled Sessions setting to default in order to quickly go through our last setting, Maximum Session Duration, where we can provide, in seconds, how long our users can be connected to a remote desktop session. For the sake of this demonstration, let's go with 15 seconds. Now, when one of the users establishes a remote desktop session, they will get a notification letting them know of the time limit. Once the 15 seconds we defined earlier are up, the session is automatically ended. Of course, this can be defined without needing to set up scheduled sessions. So this was for one-time remote support sessions. When it comes to when a user can connect to unattended computers in their list, the option can be found by scrolling back up and clicking on ISL Always On, which is our unattended access agent. As we can see here, the access management settings in ISL Always On are the same as the session management settings in ISL Lite. The schedule has already been defined, and if we try to connect to one of the computers in our list, we will get the same message, reminding us of our scheduled access hours. One last thing. So far, we've been configuring the settings for all of the users in our ISLOnline.com account. However, it is possible to define these settings for individual users by clicking on the Users tab and selecting a particular user. This will open up a settings menu that is specifically for the user in question. If we click on the ISL Lite tab from the Users menu, for example, we can see that the settings are the same, but only apply to that specific user. That was a brief overview of ISL Online's session schedule, but if you have any further questions, do visit the live chat on our website or contact us via support@islonline.com, and we will happily assist you further. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.